in my first attempt itself, I have qualified for the IPS. Manjar is the blossoms of the mango tree, where the norms for women for girls were very different from norms for men. For the boys to study outside Delhi, it will be like a bidai. Successfully detected some very heinous offenses of murder and dacoity. There is nothing in life which you cannot achieve if you put your mind to it.
Thanks for joining me. And today we have with us in the studio none other than Manjari Jaruhar. She is the advisor, security, author, and former IPS officer. Manjari is one of the first 5 women police officers in India and the first from the state of Bihar. She has recently published books like Madam Sir. It has been very well received and has become a bestseller. She is presently also an advisor to Tata Consultancy Services based out of New Delhi. She was the chief coordinator with the Indian music industry and is a senior advisor to 9.9 Media. And she joins us today on this podcast to talk about how she became the first lady IPS officer in Bihar. Manjari, welcome to the podcast. It's a huge, huge honor to have an inspirational person like you on this podcast.
Thank you. I'm glad that you have asked me to come and join you on this podcast.
Thank you. Before we move ahead, please tell me if I am pronouncing your name correctly.
My name is Manjari
Manjari.
Jaruhar.
Manjari. Yes. Okay. So beautiful. What does the name mean?
My grandfather had kept this name. He was a literary figure. He used to write also.
Okay.
So Manjar is the blossoms of the mango tree.
Okay.
Manjar.
Okay.
So from that he brought out this name Manjari.
Manjari.
And
Okay.
it basically means the blossoms of a mango tree.
Wow. What a sweet name. That's very nice. So take us just like you told the meaning of your name and how it all started. Take us a little back and tell us about your journey as to how it's been in your career so far.
So I come from Patna. It was a small town in those days, a very peaceful town, and all my education has been in Patna itself. We are a family of 3 sisters and a brother. And in the initial years, most of my time was spent with my grandparents because my parents were looking after their property and other interests in the village because they had a zamindari, as you can understand, a small princely state they had. So they were almost most of the time there, and I was with my grandparents and my other cousins. So brought up in a very strict household where the norms for women for girls were very different from norms for men, for the boys. So it was just studying, doing well in your studies. There was no sense of going and doing anything like playing games or doing anything outdoor. It was mostly indoor. And my grandmother would be teaching us most of the time. In the evenings, you go to school, come back, and that was the life. We were not allowed to go to movies or to rest. There were no restaurants in those days in my town, but if there was also, it was always to go with her grandparents and my other cousins. It was never that freedom that I had a choice that okay, you can do this, you can do that. So and we never missed anything. We continued the way things were.
But like you said that, those were the days where there was this distinction, how men are grown and how women are taken. How did you get into this field then?
So the initial years I was studying in Bihar, my father was very particular that I should study in a girls' school. Then when I did well in my schooling, I was supposed to come to study in Delhi, but my father was not happy. Though I had got admission in one of the good colleges of Delhi, and my fees etc. was paid, I was at the last moment. He said that if she goes now to study outside Delhi, it will be like her bidai, meaning that she will be leaving home. And he convinced my grandmother to convince me not to go. So it was very sad and shocking for me. And I stayed back. And then he insisted that I should study only in a girls' college. So I went to study in Patna Women's College. And much against my wishes, I had to study English literature because that was the only thing being offered there.
Mhm.
And I had no interest in English literature. I wanted to study geography, but that is the way it was. Your father has decided, and that was it. And let me tell you that it was not that my father was a big, very strict person or was like a tyrant and he's not letting you do things. It was all because he wanted us to be under his protective care. That love and affection, that why should she go and stay in a hostel? She should stay in the home environment. So the basic idea was always to protect, keep us three sisters under his care. They should not
Mm.
go out. They should be groomed to become a good housewife or a good daughter-in-law. So that was the focus of our upbringing.
Mm.
And things then did not work out well for me initially. And then I decided that I had had enough and enough. I've written about it in detail in my book. You can, people
Mm.
who are interested can read it. But things didn't work out for me very well. And at a very young age, I had was forced to take my own decisions. And then I decided that enough is enough. I'll stand on my own feet. And I decided to be in Delhi, study in Delhi, and enroll myself in a study circle. Mr. Rao's study circle was very well known in those days, and started doing my MA side by side, master's in English literature,
Okay.
and also started very quickly to get into the rhythm of a civil services
Mm.
examination preparation, which is very tough because all your life I'm being brought up to be a good housewife and things
Yeah.
are not working out. And then suddenly I'm changing my path. I'm selecting a service where I have no background, but in my family, I had seen other civil servants, and I felt that they enjoyed a lot of admiration from the public. They
Mm.
had a lot of freedom to do things. They were doing innovative things, and I felt that why not that I also try for these services. And as luck would have it, I qualified for the IPS, and that was a shocker to everybody. And they couldn't imagine that a person who had been brought up so delicately at home was going to do a police job. So that also became a challenge. And
But were you
everybody felt that
shocked? Like, were you shocked that you got it, or you
no,
knew
I
that
was
you're
very
going to?
happy. No, I was very happy because I felt that it gave me a lot of sense of confidence
Mm.
that in my first attempt itself I have qualified for the IPS. And though I didn't make it into the interview stage, I was able to take the exams again
Okay.
because I had enough chances left. And by then I had finished my MA. So I had enough time to devote. I took the exams again. But look at the background from which I'm coming. And the first time I make it, the family and friends and relatives were really thrilled that I had got into the service on my own in the first attempt, but in the interview I didn't qualify. So the second time I qualified for the IPS, and I see saw my other male friends also. By now I had other students around me taking these exams in Delhi University, and I felt if they were going to join the IPS, why should I not join?
Ah,
And people came and convinced my father also that, look, Kiran Bedi is already in the
yeah.
services. She would joined in 72, I joined in 76. So it was still very remote for women to be in the service, but I was very happy to join.
So nice. But did you face discrimination? Did you face any type of, a situation where you felt, this is a discrimination?
At the academy, there was no discrimination because the academy treats everybody at par. We were a
Mm.
group of 110 IPS officers with six women police officers for the first time. Otherwise, there was to be only one.
Mm.
And they made you do everything because you have to pass an exam there. It's an all India service, so they don't make any distinction that, oh, this is a girl, she will not do rope climbing, or she's not going to do firing, or
Mm.
she will not do horse riding. So everything which a man is doing from 6 o'clock in the morning, the lady or the woman police officer also has to do the same thing. And if my legs were hurting and swollen, I saw most of the men also going through all this, because to get into the IPS, there is no physical abilities check. It is only your brain which they check. I mean, how
Okay,
well
your
you have
willpower.
studied, how well the willpower and discipline. I mean, it's all very academic.
Mm.
It's only later when you join that the training is so rigorous. So after completing this rigorous training, I arrive in Bihar, and I was told that I'm the first woman IPS officer. Six of us went, five men and myself.
Wow.
And here is where the discrimination takes place. When I arrived there, the DG police, in those days they were called IG police, Inspector
Mm.
Generals of Police, he did not post me. He said that, oh, why have they sent you? How will you work here? This is not Delhi where Kiran Bedi is working. So it was very frustrating that by evening my other colleagues have been posted and I've been made to wait.
Oh
So
my
it
God.
went on like that. But I kept on insisting that I must be given my training charge. I must be posted to a subdivision. But they did not listen. They posted me in a small desk job in the secretariat. And after a lot of persuasion, I have written very vividly in the book about it, that how the IG changed and a new IG came who had three daughters. One of the daughters used to study with me. And because I knew him, I went to him and I said, my career is going to get finished. And he didn't know that there was a lady waiting to be posted.
Oh my
And
God.
that's next day I was posted to a subdivision. So I did the subdivision extremely well, much opposed by my MLA, the local MLA. He was very unhappy. My senior SP was also not too happy about working with a young lady ASP, but I did extremely well. My work was really appreciated. I um, successfully detected some very heinous offenses of murder and dacoity, and then my reputation there were established. But then my promotion came, and again back to a desk job. They said, no,
Oh,
no, no. You've done a subdivision, so it's okay. You can't now do a district. But 3 years, I would say that I was frustrated. I
oh
wept.
my
I
God.
really felt miserable. All my batchmates were doing important districts, and I was sitting in the secretariat. And after much insistence, I did get a police district to
Okay.
administer. I did well there, and I had a lucky break then that I was selected by Mr. Julio Ribeiro
Mm.
as for joining the National Police Academy at Hyderabad, where you train IPS officers. So this was really a game changer for me, because suddenly I was on a national kind of a platform. I was training IPS officers along with other people, of course, but I was interacting with the best brains. People will be coming to talk to IPS officers who would be really the super cops.
Mm.
I was traveling everywhere with these boys, taking them to different states, interacting with them. My whole outlook changed. Whereas I would have been in a small state of Bihar, pleading to be given this job, pleading to be given that job, feeling frustrated, suddenly my horizon changed. And it was only because I kept on saying that, no, I have been trained as a police officer.
Mm.
I should do the same thing. And along with other eight colleagues, I was involved in training of almost 500 IPS officers. And there was a time when all over the country we had IPS officers who had been trained under me.
Mm.
So
So,
that was very satisfying. And after my NPA training, I didn't look back. After my NPA, not my training, but my NPA posting, I did not look back, because people understood that I can deliver, I can work. So from then on till the end of my career, I don't want to boast about it, but I was always asked to come and join an assignment.
wow.
And I moved from one end of the country to the other. I did not stay only in Bihar. So I had a really rich experience. I had very good experience. And even though I have now retired, because of my rich experience, 15 years, I have been working continuously.
That's so nice. I mean, listening to you, I feel like, you're an iron lady. You're a lady with persistence. You're the one who can just keep going. I'm sure there must have been certain habits and routines that you have been practicing that has actually made you who you are? What are some of these habits and routines that you feel that anyone who can practice it can actually grow in their career?
I think that staying with my grandparents, I was brought up under a lot of discipline.
Hmm.
So that discipline was very handy in the police service that, you learn to do things in a particular way and at a particular time. You can't be late for a parade. You can't be late. If a
Mhm.
murder has taken place in your jurisdiction, you
Huh.
can't say, I'll go tomorrow.
Yeah.
You have to leave immediately.
Yeah.
Or if I have I had two boys, I'm feeding my son, and in the city some heinous crime has taken place, a rioting has taken place, you immediately put on your uniform and you rush. You have to leave your feeding your son, forget
Correct.
it.
Correct.
The
Huh.
most important thing is that. So discipline, I think, is important in any career.
Hmm.
In any career, you have to have a mental discipline that I will do things which are allotted to me.
Correct.
The second thing, which in my career, when I look back and see, is that I continuously upgraded my knowledge.
Hmm.
In the police, if a person is sent for training, they look down on it. They will not leave their post
Hmm.
thinking that, if I go for training, my good post, I will not be posted back.
Hmm.
I never thought like that. I thought that the more and more I go for my training, because you are allotted training all the time, the more and more I get trained, I will improve my own performance, and it did happen. I
Hmm.
went to Australia. I did a training program there, management of change. Now, in a police department, management of change is so important because every 3 years you're getting transferred from one
Hmm.
police organization to another. And if I had been in Bihar, I would have gone from one district to another. Here,
Hmm.
I moved from Hyderabad at the National Police Academy. I moved to some other assignment. I got posted to Mount Abu, training paramilitary forces. So, unless you equip yourself throughout your career,
Hmm.
learning should never stop, because I believe knowledge is really power.
Yes,
If
absolutely.
you have good knowledge about your subject, people will respect you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
in my case, and I think in anybody's case, your interface is with the public all
Hmm.
the time. Your
Hmm.
interface is with the subordinates who are watching you, and it's a hierarchical subordinate, very disciplined subordinates, and your peers are also watching you. And
Wow.
you are the single woman in that entire state when I joined. Everybody is watching you. At that time, what holds you in good stead?
Hmm.
Your knowledge about your work, your discipline,
Yeah.
and that you remain active. And I also feel that people should have values in our
Hmm.
service.
Hmm.
Values has a lot of premium.
Hmm.
People know that you are genuine and you are trying to help them. You listen to their cases.
Hmm.
The subordinates know that you know the laws and the regulations. You are fair and just to people. So these things really stand you in good stead. And I think this is true of any career a person will
Yeah.
take up.
Yeah. That is right. But like you said, it is true for any career, but people don't do it. Right? There's a lot
Yes.
of hesitance. Should I do this? There's a lot of like self-belief. I'm sure you have so much of self-belief, like you said. People don't believe that they can do this. So, in your entire career, what are some of the leadership lessons which you learned? Like, if you were to name at least three such leadership lessons that you have learned and you feel that this has helped you to grow and it can help others, what would those be like?
I think that knowledge
Hmm.
first is a leadership trait. If you are to lead somebody, you must be very thorough with what you are
What your
doing.
knowledge,
They
yeah.
should know.
Hmm.
The next thing I feel is that you must get the trust of your subordinates.
Hmm.
And for that, a leader has to also learn to trust the subordinates and take everybody along. Unless you are able to do that, we always work in teams.
Hmm.
You are trying to detect a murder case and you've just arrived on the scene.
Hmm.
So, what is required at that place? At that place, people should know that, okay, you know the laws which have to be applied. You know how the case has to be investigated. A footprint has to be lifted. Fingerprints have to be lifted. Some evidence has to be preserved. So the people should know that you can do these, you know these things.
Mm.
At the same time, that you must trust those people.
Mm.
They
True.
must know that, I must know that they know that I'm trusting them,
Mm.
and then only that you can take out the best from them.
Correct.
You
Correct.
know, in a police service, recruitment and all is a very big scandal. Very often you have
Wow.
recruitments for large number of people, 60,000, 70,000 people to be recruited.
Mm.
Now, in recruitment, you must have read also very often things go wrong and the
Yeah.
recruitments are cancelled and people do cheating and all. I've done so many recruitments, especially because people trusted me. I've never had this kind of a problem because I
The
trusted my
trust is
people.
important. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think trust is important for leadership and team building. And
Mm.
team building will only happen if you have knowledge, you trust people, you have your values. People want to know whether you are going to be, you have ethical values. I think values are very important in a career. People judge you by your values. Are you going to be with them? Are you doing the correct thing? Or
Mm.
you're taking them for a ride? And this must be true even for any corporate job. If you're selling something, are you selling something authentic? Are you claiming to do something which
Mm.
people expect that you would do, not that you claim something and don't do? So I feel certain qualities are across any
True.
career.
That's nice. You've also written that book, like you said, Madam Sir.
Yes.
What's the message of the book that you want the audience to know because of which you wrote it?
I wrote this book 13 years after my retirement.
Wow.
By that time, I had, I had retired, and, from these big homes, you shift to a small flat. I had no place to keep all these diaries and my records. So I said, "Ab iska kya kaam hai? What is it that I need these?" So I removed everything.
Um,
But my brother kept on insisting that I should write my experiences, because being the first woman in Bihar is a unique thing. And you worked in across so many geographies. I've worked in so many places. So then my children also started persuading me that why don't you write? Why don't you? Then I thought
wow.
about it. And during COVID, I had a lot of time. And believe me, this entire book I have written and recorded only incidents which have really emotionally touched me.
Wow.
So this book is from my heart.
I'm going to
What?
wait for the book. I'm going to want to read the
Yes,
book.
it is from, and all the incidents, whether it is the Bhagalpur blindings, which I have written about, or the anti-Sikh riots, which took place after the death of Mrs. Gandhi, incidents there, uh, saving a person's marriage, saving a person's child, all those incidents which really touched me, that's what I've written about. And the message I want to give in that book is that there is nothing in life which you cannot achieve if you put your mind to it.
Wow.
And anybody can do it.
Wow.
It's, but you have to put your mind to it. And the other message I would like to give, and especially I talk a lot to women at the school level, college level, university level, that a woman is ready to give up very quickly. If something doesn't work, oh, my in-laws are saying this, my husband is saying this, my children are saying this. I said, there may be problems in your career, but never give up your career. There will be ways in which you can handle this. And a woman can change every challenge into an opportunity. It sounds like a very cliched phrase, but I think that we have the ability to change any challenge in life into an opportunity. And this is what I want to say in this book, that in spite of the discrimination which I suffered, in spite of the early years of my life, which were so difficult,
Yeah, that is very
then
true.
postings, transfers, and every 3 years you're getting transfers. You have two children, they have done seven schools in their careers. So you have a husband also who's an IPS officer, so his posting and my posting, you will not believe it, but there were postings when there were no mobile phones, there was no STD,
Oh
you
my
could not correspond, you could not talk. So these were challenges and we managed it. So I feel that women are
wow.
managers, and in any career where there are challenges, think with a quiet mind, and I'm sure things can sort
So
out. This is a
beautiful.
very
So nice.
important message I give to everybody. The other day I met a lady. She said, I'm a lecturer in a college, and my husband has gone posted to, he's an IPS officer posted to Kerala. How will I manage and all? I said, whatever happens, don't leave your job.
I agree.
Take a
Totally
leave,
agree.
go
Yes.
to Kerala, come back. He will come back and get a posting again. He will be moving to different places. You get study leave, you get all kinds of leave in your as a lecturer in a college, because you have so much leave. So I feel that women should not give up once
I
they've taken
agree.
up
I
a.
so agree to that. So, what would be your biggest piece of advice? I know you've told all of this, but if the audience has to leave with some very big piece of advice from Manjari, what would that be?
My advice, I've said this before also, and I want to say it again, that we all have the ability to reach the top,
Hmm.
but it really takes character to stay there.
I agree. That is so beautiful. Nobody says that.
I've said that because I really believe that,
Yeah.
because I believe so much in values and trust. I say that we all can reach the top, but it really takes all
Absolutely.
your character and all your own strength to remain at the top.
Thank you so much, Manjari. It's such an honor to have you on the podcast and for you to share these thoughts of yours. It's really great to have spoken with you.
Yeah. So do read my book, Madam Sir. It has also
Absolutely.
been translated in Hindi, and it's available on Amazon, and it has been very well received. So
Absolutely, I'm sure. Thank you.
okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
And
so
this
much.
one's for our listeners. This is Manjari and Payal wishing you loads of success in your corporate life. God bless.